Good day, lords and ladies, and welcome back to the final episode, part 2. Just had to basically put a cut in due to how long the episode ran on. And so, without further ado, let us dive in to the final chapter of WilderMyth, Omenroad. Oh boy. Mail-in upgrades. Let's see. Yeah, let's grab that. More poison a turn. I'm glad I didn't have to finish that fight, because I'm just looking at the rows of enemies on the side of the screen. Never before ball is ended. Don't call her my mummy. Why? I think of her as my cold aunt. My befeathered and betimes admired aunt. Were you scared I'd die? Am I not your successor in all but name? Collect. Anyway, now you have the measure of my companions, imagine my confidence. Yes, you brought me heroes, Elifar, though I can't guess how you charmed them. Oh, speaking of charming, Agar fears the Grolls know something and says they are not heeding him. And I promised I would say so. I hate that bean-skinned roach. But he does not hurt anyone. You have heard my report now, so that satisfies. Am I allowed to give you greetings? You? I'm not sure, but I think I haven't outlawed it yet. Then... Oh, dragon, great dragon, I am Kalim. I wanted to greet you one time, though I admit I feel unfit to do so. Politeness is never out of place or style, Kalim. Young, mighty scion of Koyor. I hate feeling this way. I think it's on the host to tell us who have pitched our lives in front of theirs. I feel I've been a playpiece in the game of two gods. Am I off angle? Oh, only one god's been here lately. Little mystic of the good and green. Even dragons must know their place. Let us move this conversation from the mess of this hall to a mess hall. Melisi, you sound like you have not eaten. Yeah, Melisi doesn't actually wish for a confrontation. In fact, Gilfrix, with those words, humbled her. Now repair to the after party, where they will be faced with a fate of their choosing. Yeah, this is going to be a long episode, folks, but I want to see it through to the end. Home turns the heart. Few things sing so sweet as green to the green-starved heart. Hard to voice my thoughts looking out at the end, I guess. The time to hear my thoughts has probably passed anyway. You look around. You're not okay, are you? The face often betrays our feelings. In our youth, well, and even when you're gone. Even when you've gone. Me? I'm okay. Well, sorry, these things don't have to be fragile, is all. She gave me her answer. Answers do not come until after the banquet, in the dark hall and grander still. Dishevelled partygoers packed the long tables, which all were bowed from here with how heavy they were laden, the kind of excess only appropriate in a dream. Constant wonders emerged through conversations as the meal went on. As guests ate, their injuries healed, they smiled at each other, biting down on rum pies, brandishing unmarried wrists, rubbing newly unbruised eyes. None had died. Someone at one point noticed that, and what a great marvel that was when they considered it. Before retiring, the dragon went around to each guest slow and with state, sharing words. Then, in perhaps the sole moment all night when not an eye was turned their way, Greyfix seemingly disappeared. Not long after, Elifar led her companions away, down 199 steps, to a chamber vast and dark and spare, a lonely kind of dragon's lair. Sorry, you seem grey, unwell. I knew it. I look like I've been splatter-fried by some misguided megalithic fraxel bard, don't I? Well, better you had not mentioned it. Some of us can be sensitive about our appearance. I'm not sensitive, I'm vain, but she was insistent that I permit you this special audience, because I wish also to hear it. It made me wonder if it was not, in fact, she who was charmed by. I also wanted to hear it, you huge, lazy lizard bat. You lied to me from the start. That massive head, heavy as an oak tree, whips around horribly quick. And oh, every gaze is reminded then a dragon is always deciding what dies and doesn't. Whoosh. I don't remember that. You do. Stop being too much. I have foreseen great danger, Elifar, and it needs great answer. When we planned for a ball, you said this to me. Really? But I think, no, you have no premonition. The goddess told you that one of hers, Valen, had left the woods seeking your head. She asked to have him back, and you vowed to return him. Flippantly, one can only assume, is this not correct or close? Are you asking me? But why did she want you to save him? And did you ever consider whether or not he deserved it? You know, I'm not someone too gullible over deserving. That's a question better creatures clutter their homes with. Does it make you mad? It certainly does not make me laugh. Then that is a rare enough apple for me. From where I stand, and for how much longer I'll be standing here, I do not know. You are both liars. Once more, Gilfrix appears indolent. Bored, unblinking stare scrapes across the travellers' faces, applying both the thinnest smear of dragonly attention. An extra layer is given to Caleb. Behind his useful eyes there wavers a man who has lived too old to old age once already. I am not one worthy of notice, obviously, but I can at least say, Dirk and Melisi, it is enough to summon tears, that they come all this way at your invitation, only to be used as shields. Is it not kind of gross? A relentless pause follows, and Caleb echoing declamation, which first bloomed bright and daring, wilts slowly and dies in their ears. I can now say I have seen the field mouse confront the cat. It was exactly as brave and as foolish as it sounds. Oh what? No. I did mean it though. My eyes were watering. Maybe some of that was from being too scared to blink, but also I wanted it to be thought. It was because, hey, these good people deserve better. You were lucky. Gilfrix is absolutely different. After they had all stewed long enough in fraught silence, Elifar came forward, but Gilfrix halted whatever redress he might have offered with a great exorbitant sigh. I have enough control, you know. To see that the guests I invite will reach me, I have that power. I rule this realm, and I am not busy at nothing. You couldn't have died. I forbid it. I don't get what you are saying, and you getting it is not of no consequence to me, or to whatever occurs, or how, or why. Do you understand that? How greedy I think you humans are, always needing to be the comprehenders of what is and what passes. The lens keepers, the law writers, the interpreters of everything and being and happening in your universe. You're greedy. Your Quizzlemores, your monsters, those who would know the place and order of all things and only eager to be placed above them, don't you think? Yes. I know them to be greedy. I walked beside them. They are great aspirers, full of yearning sometimes, even when that is just a directionless, gut-cleansing want, even when it is not. And we are not like them, especially down here. Desiring makes us powerful, beautiful, dangerous. Even that flowered insect I know, LFR, you dense old rock. Ah. That was my whole. You're greedy and clutching and small-eyed rant. I could have trampled the coals with my tail, then unexpectedly I'd smile, and that is why I like you. A quiet gasp goes up from all attending, probably the Grolls as well, they know their cues. But you ruined it, LFR. As you ruin everything, ha. Then is there more you could say? You have control, you rule the realm, none of us could have died, why? If you are so curious, I'll put it thicker, truer terms. Do your best with them. There is one vision of these events I would ratify. None are killed who are to attend my ball. Such a mandate is possible with the authority of this seat. This kind of governance is owed to my bones, but lawmaking of that breath, call it vast expenditure of a dragon's hoard. I spent on it, allowed only a miracle flat line to emerge, a destiny as near to perfect as one might be, a fate line. Even Vivalen then. Yes, because of your invitation was protected, which is funny. It worked out rather well, the way my efforts tend to. The goddess pitted took some harsh convincing, but went back to her safely in the end, and yes, I swore he would. The goddess pitted. So the only one at real risk was you, and you laid there like a sleeping tavern cat. But if you had died, we all would have been thrown into whatever comes with the collapse of your power. Well, I wasn't going to die. Is this what you meant, LFR, when you said we owe Gilfrix everything? No, that was just... Did she really say that? I have always expressed my gratitude to you. I was simply thinking about the past a lot on this journey. And you are right, I think my path went through deeper than darkness, and it is possible I have not always returned from it. Excuse me. Illifer goes past them, apparently intent on standing by herself. Hey. So anyway, I am relieved now that the exertion is over, but annoyed to have been cornered into admitting it. No? What could bother me? I tricked you into drawing it out of me, I'll say, and now you'll go, knowing you have ridden in the purse of a dragon's mouth. You will be my beholden. There's a surprising insidiousness to it. If we were protected, I don't know why, it feels more like our freedom was taken. Believe what the dragon has told us, that is the choice we can make and remake. Changes nothing, anyway. You won't tell me it wasn't me fighting those battles. And it doesn't change the efforts we made, or the choices that brought us to the end. Together, so, and now, Now all that's left is to go home, says Dirk. There is a door I've prepared through the pale and back to the golden green world you came from, and even you who are torn out of place may go too. And if you think there's no award, and if you think that's not enough award, well, too bad. That's all that was promised. You were useful to me, and silly enough to accept an invitation to a ridiculous dance somewhere as far as the Neverflare. Dirk recognises then that there was a plain reason they'd given Melisi to come here, and it'd be kind of unforgivable if he failed to try and breach the subject. This may be asking to be spat on, but we had hoped you to plead for your intervention. Where we're from, Droven, you visited Omora's little wanderer. Snow is in the dragon's voice, feathery, wind-blown and cold. Yeah? Then you should know there's no shortage of moments, times, places, battles. These pieces of all, they are missed to you, but to me there are opportunities through time and story that I may wish or be asked to visit my will upon. But if I were going to do that, first my own, I would save Yidali, the eldest. Yes, the eldest sister. She is one Gilfrex most speaks of. Yidali, of ice and wisdom, she who lives again, she lives on and on in loneliness, away from the other beings. In the vast black winter, she waters the stars, lamenting the fury of dragons. The sweetest thing about Elifar is how she listens. I will not intercede, and I must not, if all you know and are is to keep it safe. These roads we all walk down, not conscious always of the honest reason, this is just one of those. And that is just about how their audience with the Neverflare's monarch ends. A striking young attendant appears to lead them from the chamber to the promised door. But before they all follow, Dirk, talk with me a moment. Yeah, he whispered. Don't worry, I will return him to you shortly, and we may say our farewells then. We'll await you both. Let us find some privacy. There's plenty here. Thank you, but we will seek our own. Really? How distracting. The others dawdle in the direction they point, taking Dirk's terrifying owl along with his helpful little rodent, affording the two of these pieces. Elifar shows him to one nondescript side of the hall. I am sorry, all the mud, the webs, the layered lies I prepared, that you must still be plodding through. A corridor is cut there, too narrow for dragon hips. Dishonesty was not something I had thought much of since becoming this thing I am. What? A scoundrel princess. Please, I want to say, having a face I am lying to has made me feel differently. Because it's mine? Or, since it is your face, I never worry I won't be believed. Well, I hope I'm not only a hound puppy to you. I don't want to be only that. I do not mean to call you doggish. Well, but I guess you're purposely not telling me where this hallway go. To my bedroom. Come on. Black stone veined in deep black, the light messages subtleties from seeming smooth surfaces of the walls. Something I never told anyone who was not a small star clump fallen from space. Fragrant rock of pleasant flickering oil and magic in the founding stones deep and cold beneath the castle. My sleep never comes without nightmares. Really? They may feed on our memories, I know you have a lot. They're always of my home, nightmares of that house, my parents, all that damp, awful detail of death and after. I wish that it were fire I was afraid of. That would be easier. I might have conquered that. At the passage end she pauses, a glow from a room beyond that smells of herbs and cherry wine. Not that I know that I am who holds on to these memories, but it is involuntary. Like a guilty reflex of the hand, even when I have tried to cast them away, I have instead clutched after them and clung onto them, and you can't hear the words home without your nightmare surfacing, awake or sleeping. But, she whispers, you led me up that dark hill. And since that night, this will sound sentimental, but afterwards, these bad dreams happen less. It seems they are crowded out sometimes by good ones. And that baffles me. 20 lifetimes or more might have gone by in this body since I thought good dreams were possible. Did she seem afraid of what she'd said? She turned and entered the light of her room, and they both already knew by that point this was to be the end. What made me stop trying? I sort of want to know what made me stop trying. What would Caelim have said? He's always got a little unexpected wisdom. Oh no, I would be just like you, probably. When I was in love before, well no, I mean, it is me, so I can say it. When I was in love before, I spent candles and candles examining the unborn futures of every word of action, saying, but then. I made great notes in a journal. It was a black journal she'd given me, created these schematics for our post-war lives together. I spent candles nights smiling for only myself, but then all these futures were burned with her body. Her beautiful eyes never realised I was smiling for her. Yes, so here, you may recognise these aromas from our travels. Black bottle, crimson moss, windberry stems, I keep them all fresh. I have old rose cookies in the drawer. This is where you sleep. When I sleep in the Citadel, it is usually in here. And see, I have peppered the walls with glimmering lights, and it looks hideously childish to me now that it is too late to erase them. Oh, don't erase them. There should be something I can mock you about, even if you get something else. What about my hood? I legitimately like it. You know, you have great potential to be an even finer disassembler than I am. Makes you want to keep me, doesn't it? To teach me your ways, I can be a very good student when motivated. Once more, Elefar turned to face Dirk. Some things are true even when we wish not to believe them. And I can't go, you know. I no longer, and I can't stay. No, you can't give up everything and everyone else. That is obvious, and who would I be if I allowed you to do that? I guess you'd be someone who'd wanted me to stay. Listen, I know this is all annoying to hear, especially now and from my mouth. But we are of different worlds. You are young, I am ancient. You have not just your friends here, but your parents back home. Please, I'd hate how dull and serious those lines sound. Don't make me keep saying them. There's nothing that makes Dirk stop. He can imagine his life 100 ways, all with Elefar, this woman standing before him. But could any of those lifetimes even take shape? Would Elefar embrace him? Does he himself really comprehend what those futures might cost? Dirk holds his tongue. I never truly thought this through when we began. But listen, even if it might be stupid or selfish, and even if we only have a moment. Dirk later claims they shared a simple kiss there, pure and true. Their faces golden struck, blood sweatingly, and the room a teary blur. Who would be able to say any different? We spoke. And now I send you on. My companions I trust without too many sore feelings. No, there's sadness, but there's no partings without pain, when company has been good. Some elegant words from Elise Poole. Yes, good. I apologise as much as I honestly can for what you four have endured, but while it was uncomfortable for all of us, I cannot truly be sorry. Knowing you, walking beside you, it was a pleasure, but more, it taught me to reconsider things, old things, habits of being in which I have become too grimly set, and so go on and love the twilight. I think it will be forever in your hour. Gilfric sent you off brusquely, but do not send you off with nothing, or so I do suspect. Just don't forget us, I won't, even should I wish to. There's little match-like words, goodbyes were all that could be struck between them at the end. Even at this parting, there is no real bright or lasting thing to say. And so a short while later, they are gathered here alone, four travellers gazing down a short and unmistakable path. No guides needed, since the only turn to take is homeward. Unwatched and unaccompanied, at this odd-fitting archway cut into a random wall deep in the silent fathoms of the castle, their discussions have finally stalled. Their loneliness has begun to feel like the surging of waters trying to push them out, back to places they might better belong. So Melisi goes suddenly, closing her eyes as he plunges through. As he wasn't before, she is the first into the pale. That far door is the only solid shape, fragrant of morning fields. Desire grips her neck then, to be on the other side of the touch-green, cool green leaves. How is it? Challenging. I'm trying not to run towards home. My hesitation probably that is very much resembles stepping onto a platform of steam. The ground solid as a dance floor, but the mist around your ankles. Malin screws tight his eyes, then takes a deep diver's breath, before throwing himself over the threshold. He seems mighty surprised not to be crumbling into ash. It's an okay place, isn't it? I can smell sun after summer rain. We really are returning to life, are we not? Ada said, walk with faith in the storm of your woes, and you shall arrive at your blessed Lee. So I will try it, and I will try. So saying, Caelan wanders into the white, and Dirk stands at the threshold, making the whole world wait, standing unmoving. Until he realises home for him is no longer that way, until a familiar voice speaks soft at his side. Let's try this one, until a familiar voice speaks soft at his side. The shock of those words, from what an unmistakably her lips, kills him, or it seems that it does. I'm sorry that this time I can't take your silence to mean. You can take my words to mean yes. Yes, please come with us. Alright, I will. Dirk? I'm fine, now she's coming with us. Is that possible, though? Remember her story? She left once before and was dragged back here. But, of course, this will be different. I'm also wondering. Oh, no, but because, okay, I thought about this actually, anyone may go with who they may find their way, or else is led. That may be true for most, and I assume the lovely crow is right. I have always gone alone. I have travelled as far as the Pale Edge many times. Yet I have never found that final step, crossing it. Do you think I only needed my own stalwart guide? And perhaps I was self-certain that I could not see it. Could that be? No. Oh. No, but after our farewells, it did not take me long to realise I had no wish to be where you were not. So even if it meant, well, it did mean I needed to hurry and propose to my reasoning side of story of how I could mitigate the obvious misgivings I might have. So I tried to arrange these things correctly. I did try. And what's that mean? It may have made someone a tiny little promise. An oath. You want me to witness an oath without puking nails? It should only take an effort if Dirk does permit me to come along. Celtic. It's an amusing idea, owed mostly to those spouting it. I suppose I could do my best, or the best I feel like doing, in a hypothetical moment to argue your case. You most really be sick with longing, my dear old ranger. How unusual. But Aurifel, I have never thought to stop the goddess, and this won't be the reason I try. I can guess if she will even listen to me, so be mindful. Never feel too at home. So she promised out loud to the ceiling, basically, in front of the dragon. And why would that not suffice, do you think? What do you two know? If we're lucky, we may still only get 60 years together. How exciting to have years again. But you don't know what price you may have to pay, nor do you. I have already made my vow. You have already told me yes. That is done. So are you not curious to see what happens next? Like what? I might grow old and die alongside you, but I don't want to take your whole life from you. Oh, what if I crumble to dust the second I step out of this sadder world, Why would that... Illithar, why did you do this? For love, the rest say. He looks back. The trail does not bend underfoot, the door doesn't vanish. It is simple as a stroll in the garden, and they all go together. I really have missed it. Grass under me, down to the water, squelching my toes in soft river silt, drying on the sparkling sown granite, barely my ankles in the sun, I remember. They step through. Across on a creek, and one creek bed by night, we should reach Tall Tallow, which is a roadhouse. The wind that rises and arching sounds of old trees sunshine, it's as astounding now as never flare-bound skies, its red and ebony hills. Our town's another 2 days. The land looks like it's just got a rain, maybe means the creek bed's not completely dry. There are quirks they discover coming from a place as magical as the Neverfoen. For instance, they haven't even supposed that Kalim was speaking another language. Hoyefoen Serel, Gwenhef Eswen. In fact, he isn't the only one who will work to acquire the modern Yandrik. I am trying to say it slowly. Yugus slow more. Say it again. Bird? Right. In early light, the town roofs will glow gold and pink and crimson. Melisi, you left your post. Want to explain? We're 2 days in. Heard you went with cultists. Evening will pack the tavern where stories will be traded of distant deeds of 2 different parties joined here in jubilation. And awkward meetings will continue for a while, new relations tentatively chiseled with sigh words. They will eventually grow strong. I am honoured to meet you. Guru. Thank you. I hope this can last. I hope someday you may call this. Words like home can change their meaning. Foes become friends, fixed and turned to fact, mulled in deep in the dark of the heart. Every unseen thing is fluid. The whole sky moves to the course of a night's walk. And this is how you know a story isn't over. No life decided. No future too dimmed or too doomed. Until every sun goes black, every eye closes, even to dreaming. The end. You've won. This world where the words and stories were new prove endless liberties for Kalim. Can it be imagined by us? Can we think of setting out again? They live, Dirk and Elifar, life in the sun and the moon and the weather, sometimes in town but often wandering together over near and distant yonderings, stars burning through the night. Malin lived a new life, not erasing his first, but letting it mostly go. Hey, weird stranger, come out of the rain. Why? It's innocuous. We called it hill green weather. Stories of their journey were met with rapt faces, even strange hollows. How complicated, tell it again. And then all this time, the dragon watches it all play out. Your heroes added to your legacy. Yeah, both of them get added for their efforts. And I think it's fair. We can promote 2 heroes. Mythwalker. Yeah. Let's promote her. And Malin Fenspar really did earn his stripes. Malin. I'm pretty sure he is one of mine, to be honest, yeah, by the looks of it. But I like the idea of Dirk becoming Malin. No, I think Malin earned it because he did kill the dragon at the end, or the monster at the end. Elemental weapons unlocked in Legacy. And there we go, folks. Legends never die. Promote a legacy hero to the rank of Mythwalker. And that is how the story of WilderMyth ends. I might came back at some point, maybe do a different thing with the game. But for the time being, this is where our connection to the game ends. It has been great fun, folks. And I shall see you all next time for whatever we may do. This has been Cornish-knight, and the tales always continue. Goodbye, folks.